I'm just taking a few minutes to check on some of the vegetables that I have in storage. The potatoes, the garlic, the onions. There's always an onion that starts to turn. And then those in the fridge. I've got a lot of parsnips, I realize. So I'm going to do something with parsnips today. So yeah, I have still a lot of parsnips in my crisper in the fridge. This is here, I'm checking on them. I do have some I pulled a long time ago, like 2 months ago probably, and they're getting a little, So I'm going to cut some up to freeze up. They can be thrown into soups later. But right now I'm just going to make a roasted parsnip and roasted garlic soup. Nice and easy, super simple, so I thought I'd show you. Now I just need garlic out in the kitchen, but I will use one complete full head, and to do the roasting as you would. I don't want that one, I want this one. Cut it off 3/4, drizzle with olive oil to roast when roasting the parsnips. Okay, I'll just go over what I'm doing here. As usual, I don't follow recipes. But I'd say for probably serve 4, maybe 2 pounds of parsnip. I'm just winging it here. It's just Bruce and I. Any leftovers we'll eat, so I don't have too many. I've gone ahead and peeled my parsnip because they're a little old. But certainly leave the skins on. That's where I think most of the nutrition is, and also the flavor. But mine were just a little too over. I've sliced my garlic open so that drizzle, and that'll be just nicely roasted. I'm also going to caramelize an onion, but not with these. I find I tend to burn onions when they go. They just that's not the flavor I'm going for. I want a nice slow roasted or caramelized onion. So I'm going to do that with a little bit of olive oil on the stove top, and I'm just going to add a little bit of rosemary to the parsnips. So 350 in the oven. I'm going to chop these up in a nice uniform size just so they cook at the same time, and drizzle it all with olive oil, salt and pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and caramelize my onions, and I'll see towards the end, I'm going to probably 15, maybe 20 minutes of roasting for these, and actually as long as you can go with caramelizing, because the longer the better. Now these are my own onions, so they're still relatively new onions, so they actually cook really fast. They'll disintegrate if I do it too long. And this is my homemade maple syrup. I put maple syrup with parsnips a lot, and a lot of soups do really well with if you sneak a little bit of sugar in. So to the roasting, probably about 10 minutes in, I'm going to add a little bit of just a bit of maple syrup. So it doesn't matter how you cut your parsnip, you're going to be pureeing it. And I think I forgot to mention that you're going to be adding stock of your choice. So as long as they're uniform to roast, and I've got my onions slowly caramelizing. Okay, hope you can see my onions are ooey gooey, nice and caramelized and super soft, so it brings out all that lovely sweet flavor. Roasted parsnips going in. Couldn't get any easier than cutting something up, throwing it in the oven, or slowly sauteing on the onions on the stovetop, and then tossing it all into a bowl. And to this, I'm just letting the garlic head cool a moment, and I'll throw that in, squeeze it out of the skin, and then add stock. But I'm going to puree. I've got my hand blender there. I'm going to puree first so that I can see how much stock. It's up to you how thick you want it, or smooth. Do it to taste with a nice vegetable stock. And that's it. I'll warm it up on the stovetop and a nice easy soup. Ooh, still hot. They come out. Out pops the garlic, and what a gorgeous smell. I can never resist roasted garlic. Okay, my goodness, I can see out the windows. It's 4:30 and it's so dark. I ended up using for stock just a little over a full 4 cups to get the consistency I wanted. It's still very thick and cozy, so again, put as much or as little as you want. And I took the liberty of tasting it, and it's very yummy. And then, just to top it off, like you see the chefs do, I had toasted some of the parsnip peel. And there we go. Really, really simple, but really nice and warming, and a great way to use your parsnips. Okay, I'm back. I have my cast iron skillet seasoned beautifully with oniony flavored olive oil. So I'm going to take advantage of that and just make some parsnip ribbons. If you have anyone in your household who isn't that fond of parsnips, most of us do, try this method. I'm going to just carry on peeling it. I'll bring it down to show you, with the carrot peeler, and make parsnip ribbons, which is sort of like a pasta, but they go nice and soft and lovely, and you just saute them in olive oil. Okay, so you just slice as you would and peel and make ribbons. Okay, the light is not my friend right now, but hopefully you can see this is the parsnip noodles. So you're just going to saute those. So you make sure, though, the trick, very slowly saute, and you coat them with olive oil. So I'm just going to, the pan already has some nice flavoring to it, as I said. That's just going to go in something else. And then your salt and your pepper. And I'll bring you back after a very low heat saute. So there we go. You can eat this as a vegetable side. I love them for breakfast. I will put often an egg over easy. But they take on a very different flavor, and they're lovely. You could even add sauces to them. Anyway, I'll go away now. No more parsnip recipes. Have a great week, everyone.